Hey guys, I'm Alan with Keepical. We're keeping groups together. I wear many hats, but most of you know me as a Mastermind group facilitator and a program director. Today I'd like to talk to you about the big picture. This is something that I think is really important. I believe it's really important that you guide each of your members, especially as they're onboarding into your group, to establish a big picture. A big picture, the way I define it, is they need to create a vision statement, write down a set of guiding values, and then decide what their mission is. And this is for them personally. In the next video, I'll talk about getting them to write down what I consider a motivational statement that they can return to later. Right now, you might ask, well, what would be a reason for doing this? A true mastermind group or peer guidance group, CEO roundtable, the one really important function that I think that really defines that and sets it apart from other kinds of groups, a support group or social network, is that each individual member has defined a goal for themselves that's important to them, that they're trying to reach and work towards, and the group is there to help guide them in that effort. Most of your members, when they come to you, may not know what their true vision or mission is. This is one of the reasons they've come to you for help. And so an important role that you play is to help them clearly articulate what that big picture is. So of the three components, I would say the most important is this vision. I would like to define the definition I have for a vision statement, and that is, this is a larger, bigger picture. It can be a sentence or a paragraph that basically helps this person state what their future picture would look like. Like they could define what things are like now. Well, what they're doing is they are defining how it might look in the future if it is the way they like it. So that could be in 6 months or a year would be common, or even 5 years out. Generally, you don't go past 5 years because it's really hard to predict. So let's say, for example, that I'm working too many hours in my business, or I'm trying to have balance in my life, raising a family and having a career, and I'm just going crazy trying to work too many hours. So that would be my current state. So the vision I have would be at some point in the future that I have a reasonable number of hours that I work or toil in the course of a day. And so that's my vision for my future. So the next important point that helps guide a person is to help define their values. And I think that's important for each individual, because as they make decisions in the future about how they're going to reach that future state or vision, then oftentimes returning to a set of values help give them that opportunity to decide this or decide that. Oftentimes they're trying to be sold a set of goods. They can return to their values to help them make a decision. So the idea of a value would be something, it could be spiritual in nature, love of God, but also it can have, like for me, I think certain integrity statements are extremely important to me. So for some people it might be how we treat others, how you treat the team in the organization, or how you treat the customer or the client. There's any way to state whatever's important to the heart of the way that the member conducts their lives. That's the value statement. And then finally, the mission. It's important that they define the mission. Again, this is a bigger picture kind of statement. It could be a sentence or a paragraph or even a couple of paragraphs. And so a mission statement is really taking the vision, that first part, and saying, how am I going to get there, right? How am I going to get from the current state, I'm working too many hours, or I just don't have balance with trying to raise a family and maintain a career, and then that future state where I am working a reasonable number of hours and do have balance. And so the mission is, what is it that I'm going to do to get me from here to there? And then that's guided by the values. So I've gone through and I've sort of given an overview of these three parts: the vision, the value, and the mission, and bundled that into the big picture. And that's a good exercise to work through with a member that you're onboarding in the group, and then to have that in writing in a way that you and the other group members, and especially the subject member, can refer back to that and return to it as they move through the process of working towards a goal. So the big picture is something that's really important. It lays the groundwork for everything else and what your member does in the coming months, weeks, years. And so it's not something to be glazed over. You should go deep on it and make sure they hold it true. It should be revisited on a regular basis. So guys, I hope you got something from today's clip. I certainly want to hear your comments or thoughts on this. Feel free to comment or contact me at Keepical.com. We're keeping groups together.